Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2019 general reading. We are looking at the first half of May from the 1st to the 15th. Welcome to everyone here today. Welcome to any newcomers and first timers, and welcome back to any followers and subscribers. And thank you all so much for all of your support, feedback, comments, likes, shares, and subscribes. And always a note of gratitude to all of my clients out there, both regular and new, for keeping me so joyfully busy with personal readings. And if any of you are interested in setting up a personal reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more info and contact details by clicking on the description link below or going to my YouTube channel's homepage, clicking on the little About button. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, and I can usually respond to your initial inquiry with more info within the same day or the first 24 hours. And scheduling is pretty good too. I do readings full-time 6 days a week. It is all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with both your schedule and mine to set up readings as quickly as possible. So if you're interested, send me an email. It is in my contact info, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. All right, let's move right into this reading. This is for the air sign of Gemini, our lovely twins, for the first half of May 2019, May 1st through the 15th for Gemini. As many of you know, general readings always resonate a little differently for everyone watching because there's so many of you watching with unique lives. So if you know your rising sign, moon sign, Venus sign, watch those as well. It can provide additional clarification. Okay, Gemini, let's see what the first half of May has in store for you. Okay, we begin with the Five of Cups, followed by the Six of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, the cards are sticking together. Followed by the Ten of Pentacles. That's a beautiful progression. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and focus is the Seven of Cups. Gemini, it looks like many of you are transitioning out of one thing into another, but the thing that you're ending or leaving or transitioning out of, perhaps, there is some sadness about. And sadness, it looks like, because you've perhaps felt like you were treated unfairly, and that the work that you put into whatever this thing is, that you didn't get out of it what you put into it. Where we have the Five of Cups and the Six of Pentacles here around the first week or so of March, although time is always fluid and a bit tricky, and never more so than a general reading. But around the first week of March or so, we have the Five of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So Cups is governed by the element of water. And then the Tarot, this is the energy of our heart, our emotional landscape, our feelings. It's also the area of our life that deals with relationships. The Five of Cups represents loss, sadness, or grieving over loss of some kind. You can see this man is completely focused on these three tipped over, spelled out cups, representing what he has lost, what's been taken away from him, or perhaps there were some bad decisions, what has changed, what no longer is. All his attention and focus, this sadness, is focused on these three cups and what these cups represent. But this is the Five of Cups, not the Three of Cups. Behind this man are these two beautiful goblets, still upright and full, representing gratitude, blessings that he still has in his life to be grateful for, and also opportunities which may be in his environment as well that you may run the risk of losing or missing out on because you can't see them. Accompanying advice for the Five of Cups is that all is not lost and all is not bleak and dark. There are still things in your life, blessings to be grateful for. It looks like you're moving into a beautiful new beginning as well. There's just some grief and loss over perhaps what you are moving out of or leaving behind. Now that Five of Cups is accompanied by the Six of Pentacles, and you have three Pentacles and two Cup cards. So Pentacles is earth energy. That's the element which governs this suit. And to kind of describe the earth energy, Pentacles energy area of your life, it often deals with the earth area of your life, concrete, tangible things, the structure, stability, and safety of our lives. It can represent the actual physical structure of our life, or the work and effort that we put into maintaining stability in our day-to-day life. It can represent money, finances, property, resources, assets, job, etc. And you have more Pentacles energy. It's Pentacles and Cups, so it's earth and water. So for a lot of you, this could be about a job or workplace situation. Perhaps you're leaving one job because you felt like you were treated unfairly and moving into something else. Some of you may be leaving a relationship, physically leaving it, and that also involves physically moving, because there is this kind of sadness and grief about what no longer is in your life. The Six of Pentacles is a card of evenness, mutual beneficence, equal giving, equal receiving. Now, because it clarifies what the sadness and grief is, it can represent that you feel you were treated unfairly, or that you gave quite a bit and didn't receive a fair compensation in return, whether that's in an actual job, work, project situation, or whether that's in a relationship. Sometimes, and I'm getting this for some of you now, this also represents not paying attention to what you're giving, how much you're giving, where it's going. Giving is always a beautiful thing, but if you give it, but relationships, and we're in relationship with everything, they're meant to be symbiotic, because if you're constantly giving and not really receiving something commensurate in return, eventually you will get depleted and burnt out. Same with taking. If you're always taking and not giving back, eventually the thing that you're taking from will get burnt out or give up or be depleted. So because this man is on the surface appearing to be very generous and philanthropic, he's weighing out all of his wealth, his valuables. He's dressed quite nicely. His clothes have that sheen of silk. So he's obviously doing well for himself, and he's giving, periodically throwing these pentacles out the window to these waiting, grasping hands. But he's not really paying attention to who he's giving it to, whether they're actually going where he intends them to go. He's just kind of giving and giving and giving. And sometimes this can represent needing to pay more attention to how you're giving, to what you're giving, to the purpose for which you're giving. Sometimes we get caught up in the habit of putting a lot of effort into something, whether it's a job or a relationship, and we're not getting enough back, but we hold on to this kind of dream that it's going to change, and we don't really pay attention to the red flags that we're being taken from everything that we're giving, but we're not really getting enough back. So there's this unevenness. For some of you, it might be that you might be leaving a job situation or a project, or even for some of you, a relationship, and perhaps you're on the other end of it. Perhaps that you've lost that job or lost that relationship because you took too much and didn't give enough back, and eventually perhaps you were let go, or the relationship broke up, or something of that sort as well. But the thing is all is not lost, because you still have these two beautiful cups, and you are moving into a new beginning, a new path, starting a new path that looks quite beautiful. The potential looks very good. We have next the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. I love this progression. The aces represent the number one, so they always represent something new, the start of a new path, a new beginning, or the opportunity for that. The Ace of Pentacles can be moving, relocating, starting a new job. Sometimes it represents receiving an unexpected sum of money or resources that enable you to start over in a practical, tangible way, meaning beginning a new path that's going to make a difference in your actual day-to-day life. It could be, starting, if you've always wanted to write a book, or you have an idea for starting your own business, it can represent that too. And it holds a lot of potential. It's only the ace, the one, but it holds a lot of potential. Now, clarifying it or accompanying it is the Ten of Pentacles, so which is a great progression. We go from the ace to the 10. This is the potential that the ace has. This is what we want the ace to turn into. The 10. Tens represent cycle completion, culmination, fulfillment, achievement. The Ten of Pentacles represents abundance, stability, security. This is the fulfillment of the Pentacles energy. It used to be called the inheritance card, but what does inheritance really mean? Inheritance means, you know, a present day gift or a present day sense of abundance, whether in finances or material, or just feeling secure and stable in your life, not having to live paycheck to paycheck. But it comes from the long, slow accumulation of the time, the resources, the work, the effort, the history that went into building it up. So it's about long-term longevity, long-term stability and continuity, something that makes you, something which has long-lasting roots. And there is an energy attachment of home and family to this too. It can represent family home, family money, family business, family estate. Now, for some of you, maybe a smaller portion of you, this grief and loss in the Five of Cups can represent maybe, because the Five of Cups is sitting next to the Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, even give and take, is sitting next to the Ten of Pentacles. Some of you, this may be an actual inheritance. The grief and sadness may be because you've, you know, someone's passed away, someone's died, and you might be getting some kind of inheritance or your fair share of a division of assets or property of some kind too. That might be the case for you as well. It's really quite lovely energy though that you're moving into, because what you're getting, what you're receiving, what you're beginning has the ability, you're at the Ace of Pentacles starting here, but it has the ability to bring you safety, stability, security in the structure of your day-to-day life. If you've received an inheritance or a payout of some kind, even though it may come with some sadness behind it, it's giving you security, safety, and stability as well. I feel like some of you are getting money, an inheritance, or a property, something which is creating this sense of stability in your life where perhaps there were none. And you're kind of mulling over, perhaps some of you, how it's going to turn out, what the potential and promise of it is, because your overall energy is the Seven of Cups, which is a card that has kind of a dreamy, illusionary feel to it, fantasizing, daydreaming, building castles in the sky, considering multiple options. That's what these cups represent. Each one of them is filled with something quite beautiful, which represents potential of what something could be. So perhaps some of you who have received a gift of inheritance, money, property, something of that sort, you may be thinking about, what could I do with this? What could I turn it into? What's the possibilities now that I have this perhaps unexpected security and stability? Some of you for whom it's moving or relocating because something has ended. It's the same situation, even though there's sadness behind it. It's an opportunity, and you're kind of mulling over what the potential of it is, looking forward into the future. It's a very good reading, Gemini. I'm just going to pull one or two more cards to see what message Spirit has for Gemini for the first half of May. Or what's the follow-up energy here? What are you headed into? The potential of this looks really, really lovely. Oh, beautiful. We have the Sun, and right behind it, the Five of Swords. So this is just an extra message and energy that's kind of maybe following right on the heels of this. The Sun is the most, in my opinion, the most powerfully influential card in the tarot in terms of its positivity. And when you think of the literal sun, the physical sun, when it comes out, it banishes the darkness, it illuminates, it clarifies, it automatically uplifts mood, life, love, warmth, laughter. There's a lot of social energy attached to this. It represents, when the sun comes out, it shines over everything. Everything is illuminated, and it represents an uplifting of moods, an uplifting of heaviness, an uplifting, a loosening up of previously restrictive energies, and it has an effect on every card in the spread that it comes out on. It can boost all the positive energy in the surrounding cards, and it can lessen negative energy, any negative or challenging energy in the surrounding cards as well. So beautiful energy you're moving into, whatever this potential is. I feel like something's come to an end. Well, it's obvious that something has come to an end, but the sadness, the grief, the pressure, the difficulty or challenge that you've been going through is also coming to an end because of this new beginning. The Five of Swords is a hard-won victory. This man has just finished a battle, a challenge of some kind. He's obviously won, but he might not feel victorious. The colors are still murky. He's tired, worn out, exhausted. He's bleeding from a little cut on his forehead. He might not feel victorious, but it is a victory. It's a hard-won victory. It's one that has cost a lot, but he has won. And sometimes it represents that you may have to leave a person or people behind. You're moving forward, but it's a victory. It's a victory nonetheless, even if it doesn't feel like one. And it kind of relates to this Five of Cups energy too. Whatever this sadness and grief is about. It's a general reading, so it's going to mean different things to those of you watching. For some of you, it might be grief and loss over a person who's passed away, a relationship, a job, perhaps. But the thing is I think that there's been some valuable lessons learned here, in whatever challenging time that you've been going through. You're moving into a completely different realm, and one that has the potential to create a lot of stability and security in your life, Gemini. It's really, really quite a lovely reading, so heads up. Keep your chin up. You're moving into a really lovely time, Gemini. So that pretty much wraps up your May 2019 first half of the month reading. We'll see what happens at the mid-month readings when we take a look at the second half. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading, particularly if this resonated for you, please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you. I do love and romance, of course, career, work, and finance, compatibility chartings, investment readings, gift readings, and I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in all the main areas of your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look. So there's a few different things to choose from. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also provided. So Gemini, I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the May 2019 mid-month readings. We'll take a look at what the next 2 weeks or the last half of May looks like for you. Until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.